In February 1959, 9 experienced hikers in the Soviet Union's Ural Mountains suddenly sliced their way out of their own tent from the inside and ran into a blizzard half naked and barefoot in 40 below weather.
Wait, they cut their way out? If it's that cold, the tent is literally your only lifeline. What could possibly be scarier than freezing to death?
That is the million-dollar question that has fueled 60 years of conspiracy theories, from secret Soviet weapons to actual monsters. Today, we're looking at the Dyatlov Pass incident, a tragedy that started as a ski trip and ended as one of history's most chilling mysteries. The story begins with Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student who was essentially the Bear Grylls of the Ural Polytechnical Institute. He assembled a team of 9 others, mostly students and one older war vet, for a high-stakes, 190-mile ski trek across the northern Urals.
So these aren't just kids on a weekend camping trip. They knew what they were doing?
Exactly. This was a Category 3 expedition, the toughest rating possible in the USSR. They were fit, they were documented, and they were in high spirits, as seen in the rolls of film recovered from their cameras.
And the location? I saw the name Kholat Syakhl. Sounds ominous.
It translates from the local Mansi language to Dead Mountain. By February 1st, they set up camp on its slope. It was a normal, grueling day of hiking until something happened that night that made 9 rational, survival-trained adults choose certain death in the snow over staying in that tent for one more second. When the group didn't return, a search party found their tent on February 26th. It was buried in snow, but the knife slashes were clear. They'd escaped through the side of the fabric, not the door.
Okay, so they were in a massive rush. Did the searchers find them nearby?
It gets weird. They found the first 2 bodies almost a mile away near a cedar tree, wearing only Ik underwear and socks. There were branches broken off that tree 15 feet up, like someone was desperately trying to climb away from something or look back at the camp.
Underwear? In the Siberian winter? That's not just a rush, that's a hallucination.
Well, they call it paradoxical undressing. When you're dying of hypothermia, your brain misfires and you feel like you're burning up, so you strip. But then they found 3 more bodies between the tree and the tent, including Dyatlov himself. Their positions suggested that they were actually trying to crawl back to the camp when they collapsed.
So they realized they made a mistake and tried to return? That sounds like a simple, tragic accident. Where's the mystery?
The mystery was buried in a ravine 75 meters away. 3 months later, as the snow melted, the final 4 hikers were found with injuries that made no sense. One had a massive skull fracture. 2 others had their rib cages crushed with the force of a high-speed car crash.
But you said they were in the middle of nowhere. No cars, no people. Was it a fight?
That's the kicker. The medical examiner said the internal damage was extreme, but there were no external bruises or soft tissue damage. It was like they were crushed by pure pressure. And one of the women, Lyudmila Dubinina, was missing her tongue and eyes.
Okay, stop. Missing a tongue? This is sounding less like an avalanche and more like a horror movie.
Naturally, the rumors exploded. People pointed to the local Mansi tribes or runaway Gulag prisoners or even Soviet missile tests because some of the clothes showed traces of radiation. The lead investigator later claimed he saw orange spheres in the sky during the search.
Radiation and UFOs? No wonder this case stayed classified for decades. Did the Soviet government ever actually explain it?
They officially blamed a compelling natural force and closed the file. It stayed that way until 2019, when a modern investigation and a team of Swiss scientists used CGI models, some actually based on the snow physics from the movie Frozen, to propose a solution.
Wait, did Disney actually solve a 60-year-old cold case?
In a way, the Swiss study suggested a delayed slab avalanche. Essentially, the hikers cut a ledge into the snow to level their tent, which weakened the slope. Hours later, a heavy block of snow slid down, landing directly on them while they slept.
That explains the car crash injuries to the ribs and skull. They were crushed against the hard floor of the tent.
Exactly. Disoriented, injured, and blinded by a blizzard, they cut their way out, fearing a second slide. They retreated to the woods, tried to build a fire, and the strongest members even took clothes from those who died first to survive. As for the missing tongue, scavenging animals and natural decay in the creek where she was found.
It's almost more tragic when it's just the environment. It shows that even the most heroic struggle, as the Russian prosecutor called it, can't beat the physics of a mountain.
It matters because it bridges the gap between folklore and science. We spent 60 years looking for monsters and spies when the real killer was the very ground they were standing on. It's a testament to human survival instincts, even when those instincts ultimately lead us into the dark.
What's the one thing to remember about the Dyatlov Pass incident?
It is the ultimate reminder that nature doesn't need a motive to be terrifying. It just needs a shift in the snow.
That's Wikipedia. Every story on demand. Search your next topic at wikipedia.ai.